Hi Chandrasekhar, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
So you are going for IUCL, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so with me there's a Rahul sir and there's Vishal sir, and we can
Yes, sir.
proceed ahead with your mock, right?
Yes, sir.
So my first question to you is your introduction only. So Chandrasekhar, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Myself, Chandrasekhar. I am from the Guntur district of Andhra Pradesh. I have done my schoolings in my native place itself. I have graduated from chemical engineering in National Institute of Technology, Calicut in 2019. So I have done a project with four of my friends in the BTech final year that is related to the fabrication of sensor with using the carbon paste electrode, which can detect the lead even in the smaller quantities without using the techniques of spectroscopy. So next, now I am preparing. I have cracked the gate with a rank of 104, and I am now preparing for the PSU interviews. My hobbies include I listen to the music and play badminton. These are
What were your rank and what was your gate rank and gate sorry score and gate marks?
my gate score was 752, sir, and my gate rank was 104.
What were the marks?
70, sir, 69.33.
Okay. Okay. Good evening. Good afternoon, Rahul sir. How are you? Can you hear me? Okay. Anyhow, Chandrasekhar, tell me something about your hobbies.
Sir, I listen to music, sir, and I regularly do yoga. That's my
Okay.
hobby, sir.
Okay. What is the benefit of yoga for you?
Sir, it's rejuvenates, sir. Means it flexibles the body, and it makes the active in a day. All of the day we can feel an active person like that. It
Okay.
feels.
Any idea about the difference between yoga and meditation?
Yes, sir. In yoga, we do the asanas, and the meditation is the concentration on the breathing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the difference, sir. We are sit silent and concentration on the breathing in a mudras.
Okay, Chandrasekhar, you are NIT graduate, and there are so many other capable students from chemical engineering who want to join IUCL. How you are
Sir,
different from them? How do you think you are different from them, and we should take you only, not them?
yes, sir. There are many students from NIT, but I have the more interest in the subject, and I have the technical knowledge too. The gate rank and the CGPA in my college were reflecting that I have been the most interested in
Okay,
the
now
subject.
I give you one option. There are 10 requirements. Let's say we want to hire 10 chemical engineers,
Okay, sir.
and all the other 10 people are higher than you in gate rank. They are
Okay,
within
sir.
100. You are 104. We should
Yes, sir.
hire them or you. And if you, why? Why not them?
Sir, I have the another quality is that sir, for an organization, the person should be the technically person, and he should be determined on his work. I can say that I can be determined on my work because uh, at the in 2019 I have prepared for the gate, but at the time I have got the rank of 1500 like that. But another I have given the determinant for the PSUs, and I have worked more, and I have got the 104 rank. So by this I can tell you that I can be determined if I have taken any work like that. These are my qualities, sir. So if I have been different from them in this determination, then you can hire me.
Okay, I give you one situation here, Chandrasekhar. When you are recruited in IUCL, there is a person who will be working under you, but he has 25 years of experience,
Sir.
and you have no experience, and you are his boss. Now he does not want to listen to you. He says, I cannot listen to a person who has no knowledge. I have knowledge of 25 years. How shall you handle this situation?
Sir, first of all, I want to explain him clearly that how the relation should be between you and me in the office, and it might be different in the outside the office. But for the better benefit of the organization and the profit of the organization, we are here to work here. So I will explain him clearly that if we do like this, then it will not be benefited for the organization. We should have some professional ethics, and the outside of the company we can be like that. But in this situation, we should be in the proper manner. I will try to convince him.
Okay, but he's hell-bent. He says, no, if you have no knowledge, no respect.
Then the other option is the complaining to the seniors that he is not able to I am not able to control him. Can you please convince him like that?
Okay, I think now Vishal sir can go with his domain, and then Rahul sir can go with his domain of technical questions. Vishal sir and
Yes, sir.
Chandrasekhar, can you please once again tell your BTech final year project which you have done?
Sir, my BTech final project is that I will tell in a summary. Sir, basically, any effluents from an industry consist of the heavy metals like the mercury, calcium, copper, and the lead like that. But if they are present in the over accumulate in the body, it may be the toxic. There are some methods like environmental department. They are measuring with using the techniques like spectroscopy like that. But in our project, we have developed a sensor like which is based on the electrochemistry. It is like an electrode. It means by this electrode, we can detect the lead without using the techniques in even the smaller quantities like 1 ppm. We have used the cyclic voltammetry technique in this, sir. In this, we have varied the voltages and we have from the voltages graph voltammetry, we find that at a particular potential, we find that there is a large movement of the lead. Means like that we have detected the lead. This how, sir.
Okay.
For project one.
Vishal sir?
Yes. So Chandrasekhar, can you tell us about heat exchanger? What is a heat exchanger?
Yes, sir. The heat exchanger is the device which provides the platform for the exchange of the heat between the one body to the another body. For example, we take the hotter fluid and the colder fluid. The heat is being transferred from the hotter body to the colder fluid.
You heard about regenerative and recuperative type heat exchanger? What is the basic difference between these two?
Sir, regenerative type of heat exchanger is that at a one time the hotter fluid will flows and give the entire energy in a packed material like that, in a packing. Then afterwards the cold fluid will flow and taking that heat. There is no parallel flow between the hotter fluid and the colder fluid, but in the recuperative type of heat exchanger, they both will be flown at the same time, that hotter fluid and the colder fluid. This is the difference, sir.
Okay, can you make this regenerative type heat exchanger continuous? Like you were saying, in regenerative heat exchanger, first we pass the hot fluid, then we pass the cold fluid. Can the continuous type of regenerative heat exchanger there possible?
Possible, sir.
How?
Sir, if it is a continuous, then it become recuperative, sir.
No. If it will, if it is a continuous, then it will become recuperative. What do you think? You are saying yes. How? How they will become recuperative type?
Sir, basically the difference is that they will not flow at a once. But
you heard about rotating matrix?
No, sir, I haven't heard. Maybe that is used in for continuous.
Yes. What is that high cellulose capacity matrix? What is that? Which is used in regenerative type heat exchanger. You know about high capacity cellulose matrix?
Yes, sir. Means it can absorb the more amount of the heat.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So if by some means we will able to rotate that,
then it become the continuous, sir.
It will become, so it will remain as a regenerative type only, but the operation will become continuous. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So can you tell us some of the advantage of this regenerative type heat exchanger over the recuperative type heat exchanger?
No, sir. I haven't able to recollect I haven't studied about this one.
Acha, what do you think? What do you think? When you are using a high capacity cellulose matrix, so what you will get? What do you think?
Sir, it can able to extract the large amount of the heat, sir.
Obviously, yes.
Yes, sir.
So that is one of the advantage.
Yes, sir. But I can't able to detect what are the advantages of recuperative than regenerator than recuperative.
That is a one of the advantage. Now, like if you are able to transfer more amount of heat, what is the purpose of a heat exchanger? The purpose is to transfer heat.
Extract the heat. Yes, sir.
If you are able to transfer more heat, then yes, that is a one of the major advantage. What do you think?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. My next question is: you heard about NTU of a heat exchanger?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
NTU means the number of transfer unit of the heat exchanger. It tells about the number of units of the heat has been transferred from the hotter fluid to the colder fluid in an heat exchanger, and in another terms, NTU represents the size of the heat exchanger.
How?
Sir.
How it decides the size of?
Sir, more the NTU, the more the size of the heat exchanger means. More the transfer area would be required, and more the length will be required, then more the size of the heat exchanger.
Okay. I just suppose you.
Sir, your voice is coming low, sir.
Okay, now it is audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chandrasekhar, suppose you are having two heat exchanger. One is you can say shell and tube type heat exchanger.
Yes, sir.
Another one is double pipe heat exchanger.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how you will decide? Like you can choose any one type. So
yes, sir.
How you will decide which type of heat exchanger will be suitable for your that kind of heat transfer, your work?
Sir, if we are dealing with the smaller flow rate and we are dealing with the low heat transfer coefficient, and if you require the low heat transfer, then we can go for the double pipe heat exchanger. Or if you want the higher heat transfer, then we have to go for the shell and tube heat exchanger.
Higher heat transfer or higher heat transfer coefficient?
Higher heat transfer coefficient, sir.
What do you think? Heat transfer coefficient?
Sir, if there is means the Q, I am talking about the Q, sir. If we want the higher duty, then we have to go for the obviously shell and tube heat exchanger.
First decide, Chandrasekhar. First decide. You're talking about Q heat transfer, or you are talking about H convection heat transfer coefficient, or any other thing. What you are talking about?
Q, sir.
Q. So now,
yes.
Now you are saying you are talking about heat transfer, not H.
Heat.
Not convection heat transfer coefficient.
Not, sir.
You're talking about heat transfer, na?
Heat transfer. If the H is high, then the heat transfer is also high, sir. Obviously, for the same area.
So we will decide these two heat exchangers based on H value. Based on H value, we will decide.
Based on H value.
If I will
yes,
go
sir.
Your answer. You are saying, na?
I am saying that based on the Q, if you want the low Q, then we can go for the double pipe. If you want the high duty, then we have to go for the shell and tube heat exchanger. If you are dealing with a low flow rate, then we can go for the double pipe.
But you are associating it with H. That's why I am asking you.
No, sir. I am telling with the Q only, sir.
Q only.
Yes, sir.
Is there any link of area?
Yes, sir. Q is equal to UA delta T, sir.
Okay. So you heard about some area, you can say comparison, like if area is that much less than that, we will use double pipe. If area is more than that, we will use shell and tube type.
The number I haven't heard, sir. The figure I haven't heard.
So like we will decide, you heard about these things? We will decide based on the area requirement. Like, heat transfer is directly proportional to area. If you have calculated your heat transfer area that is sufficiently high, like during the designing of a heat exchanger, you calculated the area is high.
Sir.
So in that case, if you will go for double pipe heat exchanger, then that length will be very high.
Very high, sir.
Okay. So in that case, we will go with.
We go for the shell and tube heat exchanger, sir.
Yes,
sir.
So area is a more, you can say, effective parameter which you need to tell. Like, sir, we will decide based on the area. If the area of the heat exchanger is less, we will go with the double pipe heat exchanger. And that is a factor actually 14 meter. If you have heard about, you're a chemical engineering student and you need to know about that. 14, close to 14 meters square. If it is less than that, we will go with shell and double pipe heat exchanger. Otherwise, we will go with shell and tube type.
Yes, sir.
Okay. My next question is, you worked on some heavy metal, है ना?
Yes, sir.
So I have not listened to entire your project, but I want to ask you, what is Prandtl number for heavy metals?
Sir, Prandtl number is less than 1, sir.
Less than 1. Obviously, it is less than 1 for air. It is less than 1 for gases. But I want to ask, what is the Prandtl number for heavy metals? How much less? Less than 1, so there are so many things. How much less?
I can't able to recollect that figure, sir. Okay. I know that it is less than 1.
Less than 1. So for this particular liquid metal, heavy liquid metal, so what do you think? Like boundary layer thickness will be more, or thermal boundary layer thickness will be more?
Thermal boundary layer thickness is more, sir, compared to the hydrodynamic boundary layer.
Okay. So you know about Reynolds-Colburn analogy?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Sir, I want to tell the analogy.
No, just tell the why. What is the use of that analogy? Why that analogy is introduced?
Sorry, this analogy is introduced because it relates between the heat transfer coefficient and the friction factor, sir, and the mass transfer coefficient.
Okay.
If the finding of the in fluid mechanics, we can find the friction factor, and obviously from this we can find the heat transfer coefficient.
Great. So what is that? What is that relationship? Reynolds-Colburn analogy, if I will ask you.
Yes, sir. Standard number of heat transfer is equal to F by 2 equal to standard number of the mass transfer. H by rho U Cp is equal to F by 2 is equal to K by U.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No, you are saying standard number equal to, yes, what?
Standard number into PR power 2 by 3 is equal to F by 2. H by rho U Cp into PR power 2 by 3 is equal to F by 2, sir.
Okay.
Colburn analogy.
In what range for what range of this Prandtl number this analogy is applicable? Means you will get approximate result. For which type, for what range of the Prandtl number?
Sir, I know that it is more applicable to turbulent flow. Reynolds number greater than 4000.
No, you can apply it into like laminar flow over flat plate also.
Yes, sir, but it gives the better results when we are dealing with the turbulent flow, sir.
No, there is no such what you can say rule is there ki you can use Reynolds analogy for turbulent
no, sir,
flow.
that is not the rule, but I heard I have seen some.
Okay, even if you want to apply this analogy for flow inside a pipe.
Yes, sir. We are
there is some change in that.
Sir, here we are changing the U velocity. In the velocity, we should take as the mean velocity. In the external flow or the pipe, external flow or the plate, here the U is the U infinity, free stream velocity.
This analogy is applicable for liquid metal? Can you apply? If there is some liquid metal flow over flat plate, can you apply this analogy? Can you apply?
Yes, sir. We can apply, sir. Colburn analogy we can apply, sir. But not Reynolds.
Okay, fine. Chandrasekhar, I think Rahul sir will interact with you.
Yes,
then in between, I will also interact, or at the end I will give you feedback. Yes, Rahul sir, please ask your questions. Yes, Rahul sir, please continue.
Are we audible, Rahul sir? Rahul sir, are we audible? I think we are not audible or something.
Yes, sir. I think.
Rahul sir, are we audible? So you continue with your questions. In the meantime, I'll connect to Vishal sir.
Yes, sir. So Chandrasekhar, my next question is to you. You know about radiation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell us the use of shield. What is a radiation shield?
Sir, if you want to resist the radiation, if you don't want the radiation from the one body to another body, we keep in a resistance. we are keeping at the shield to less the radiation from the one body to the another body.
What is the effectiveness of a shield? It is required to be high, low, or what do you think?
Emissivity, sir.
Yes, emissivity.
Emissivity should be low, sir.
Emissivity should be low. Why?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Means if you want if the shield to be the better resistance, then it have to reflect the radiation. So it should be have the high reflectivity and less absorptivity. If the absorptivity is less, then obviously emissivity is less. So it should be low emissivity.
How will decrease emissivity?
Sir, by polishing a surface, or by smooth polish, white polish, then we can decrease the emissivity, sir.
Okay. And how we increase emissivity?
By roughening the surface, we can increase the emissivity.
Okay, good. So my next question is to you: what is the effectiveness of a heat exchanger?
The effectiveness of the heat exchanger is the Q of the heat exchanger, means the heat transfer in a heat exchanger by the heat transfer maximum can be obtained in a heat exchanger. So the Q in a heat exchanger can be derived from the hot fluid heat transfer or the cold fluid heat transfer. MCP of delta T of hot, or MCP cold of delta T of cold divided by MCP minimum divided by hot fluid inlet minus cold fluid inlet.
Chandrasekhar, can you tell us about a similar number related to the Prandtl number in mass transfer?
Schmidt number, sir.
Yes, Schmidt number.
Schmidt number. Schmidt. Okay, sir.
Schmidt. Acha, okay. You are actually you're not pronouncing S. Okay, good. So what is that number? What is that number?
Sir, it is the momentum, the rate of the momentum diffusivity to the mass diffusivity, mu by rho by DAB.
Okay. So, and what is Prandtl number?
It is the ratio of momentum diffusivity to the thermal diffusivity, mu Cp by K.
And what is Sherwood number?
Sherwood number, it is the ratio of the mass transfer, convective mass transfer divided by the mass transfer due diffusion, molecular diffusion. It is
what is the difference between convection mass transfer and diffusive mass transfer? Sir, what is the difference? Just tell us more about that.
Sir, convective mass transfer, it is composed of both the diffusive mass transfer and the bulk flow. It is the convective mass.
What is
that? Sir?
What is that? What is that bulk flow?
Bulk flow is with the average velocity, the molecules are moving. But in the diffusive velocity, some molecules are diffusing. Then the combination of these, both the average velocity flux, average flux and the diffusive flux, this comes the total flux, and it is the convective mass transfer.
So can you give us one example of each, like convective mass flow and diffusive mass flow?
Sir,
any some real practical example of convective mass flow and diffusive mass flow?
Sir, if you take the hot water and the cold water, if you pour the cold water bottom side and the hot water at the top, but in this only the diffusive mass transfer will be taking place. If you take the cold water top and the hot water bottom, then there is also both the convective mass transfer will be taking place, because there is the bulk motion. Here in the before example, it is only the diffusive flux.
Okay, convection is fine, but diffusion I'm not getting. Diffusion.
Sir, I have told you, sir, we are taking the hotter object top, hot water top, and the cold water bottom. The heat transfer, obviously there is a temperature difference. The heat transfer have to be taking place from the hotter to the colder. But there is no any bulk motion in that. So due to the density difference, the hot water will be on the top. Only the heat will be transferred only to the molecular diffusion only, but not through any bulk motion. So we can say that here only the diffusion will be taking place.
Chandrasekhar, my last question is to you. What do you think? Sir, what is the driving force for this convective mass transfer? And what is the driving force for this diffusive mass transfer? The example which you are taking.
Concentration difference means here the heat transfer also involved in this, sir. So the temperature difference is the driving force. For the mass transfer, there is the concentration difference of the hot. If you take the hotter fluid element, there is a concentration difference of the hotter fluid to the colder fluid. Then there is the mass transfer will be taking place, and there is the temperature difference also. The heat transfer will be taking place.
Okay, so I think Rahul sir is connected now. So Rahul sir, if you have any questions, I think you can proceed with Chandrasekhar.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yeah. Chandrasekhar, can you hear, sir?
Yes, sir, I can hear.
Okay, Chandrasekhar, I want to ask you some few questions that is related to mass transfer and CRE. My first question is, what is the difference between residence time and space time?
Sir, space time is the time for the average space time. How much time is required for the one volume of the reactor to react, for one volume of the liquid to react, how much time will be taking place? It is the space time, sir. For the residence time is that the age spent by the molecule inside the reactor is the residence time. For the ideal reactors, both are the same.
And mathematically for aqueous system, how we define these two terms?
Sir, tau is equal to V by V naught is the space time, sir. For the residence time, V by V naught of 1 plus EA XA for the residence time.
Okay. My next question is, how the diameter of VDO column, vacuum distillation column, is decided?
Sir, it is decided. First, we have to find out from the Mercalli method or the Poisson-Favorite method. We have to find the flow rate of the liquid and the vapor, sir. From this, if we take the vapor flow rate, we have to equate to the rho V is equal to rho A U operating velocity. First, we have to find the flooding velocity, and the 50% of the flooding velocity is the operating velocity. From the rho A is the area of the net area, means the area of the cross section minus the area of the downcomer. From this, we are equating to rho A U operating is equal to mass flow rate of the vapor. Then we can find the diameter of the VDU or anything column, sir.
Okay. Can we use steam instead of reboiler in the fractionator or distillation column?
Yes, sir, we can use, sir. There is one more method like we are introducing the live steam in presence of the reboiler.
And what is the case where this condition is used?
Sir, when the steam is immiscible with the components inside the distillation column, then we can use the steam itself, sir.
Okay. Do we produce only gas when steam stripping facilitated in the distillation column?
Sir, I can't understand, sir.
My question is, do we produce only gas when steam stripping facilitated in the distillation column or fractionator?
Do we produce only gas?
When steam stripping facilitated in the distillation column.
No, sir. We are taking out the distillate, and obviously we are taking out the bottom product also, sir.
Okay. What is the effect of reflux ratio on the distillate?
Sir,
tell me both the cases. If we increase the reflux ratio or decrease the reflux ratio, what should be the effect on distillate?
Sir, if we increase the reflux ratio for keeping the same number of the days, then the distillate composition will be increases, means the purity will be increases. If we decrease the reflux ratio, keeping the same number of the days, then the distillate purity will be decreases.
And what should be the effect on the number of stages?
Sir, if we are getting if we are keeping the same composition or the same purity, then if we increase the reflex ratio, the number of the stages will be decreased. If we decrease the reflex ratio, number of stages will be increased.
Okay. What are the different types of trays which are used in packed or tray column?
Sir, sieve trays, bubble cap trays, valve trays, sir.
Only two type, or
Three
is
types,
there
sir.
any?
Sieve trays, bubble cap trays, and valve trays.
Okay, and which one is more effective?
Sir, there are the conditions for the using these three trays, sir. For the sieve trays, it has the low pressure drop, but it causes somewhat weeping. So if we are going for the bubble cap tray, it has the more higher pressure drop, but there is no weeping. And if you go for the valve, it is intermediate between the sieve tray and the bubble cap tray. So basically in the distillation column, we are using the sieve tray, sir. If you want the change in the, if there is a change in the input to in the tray, then we can go for the valve tray.
Okay. What is height equivalent to theoretical plate?
Sir, height equivalent to the theoretical plate is the height of the packing, at which the concentration difference we have obtained or the separation we have obtained is similar to the theoretical stage of a column. It is the height equivalent of the theoretical plate. It depends upon the flow rate of we are of the liquid and the vapor and the type of the packing also, sir.
And mathematically, how we define it?
Sir, HETP is a G by A by KOI into A.
Are you sure?
Not sure, sir, but it is for the HTU, sir. Sorry, I am not able to recollect that HTP mathematical equation.
No problem.
Yes,
At the condition of total reflex, what would be the slope for rectifying section and stripping section operating line?
total reflexes, sir.
Yes, at the condition of total reflux.
Sir, the slope is 1 for both the stripping section and the rectifying section.
Okay. And what would be the number of trays at this condition? High or
Less, sir. Low. Very low.
okay. What is relative volatility?
Sir, the relative volatility, it is the ratio of the distribution coefficient of more volatile component to the less volatile component. If you take A and B as the components, if A is the more volatile component and B is the less volatile component, we can define the relative volatility as the YA by YB divided by XA by XB.
Suppose if relative volatility is higher than 1, then
Sir,
is separation possible?
yes, sir, separation is possible.
And if it is equal to 1, then what should be the condition?
The separation with the normal distillation is not possible, sir. We have to go for the extractive distillation or azeotropic distillation.
Why
Then it is possible.
separation is not possible at the condition of
Means if
volatility is equal to 1?
alpha is equal to 1, relative volatility equal to achieving the same boiling point. If we do the normal distillation, then we can't able to separate, sir. The same composition in the bottom tray will be go to the top tray. So it is uneconomical to use normal distillation in that case.
Okay. What is the difference between a chemical and a refinery process?
Chemical process and refinery process, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir, I can't able to relate that one.
Okay. Suppose now I give you a situation where we are using a jacketed reactor, okay, and we are supplying water as a coolant to that jacket, okay.
Yes,
Now, which type of control valve will you use in the line for this type of situation?
sir, Wait, sir. I'm not able to recollect that name, sir. There are two manipulating variables in that, sir. We have to check the temperature of the coolant also, and we have to obviously check the temperature of the liquid in the reactor also.
Okay. If exothermic reaction is taking place in the reactor, then which type of control valve will you use?
Sir, for the temperature, we can go for the PID, sir. Controller? You are asking about controller, no, sir?
PID is not the type of control valve, I think.
Valve. You are asking about control valve, sir?
Yeah, I'm talking about control valve.
No, sir. I haven't seen the PID part. So process dynamic part.
Okay. Suppose you are having a rectangular duct of height h and
Yes,
width
sir.
b.
Sir.
Then what should be the equivalent diameter for this case?
Sir, it is the 4 into RH, sir. So RH is the hydraulic radius. Then hydraulic radius is the area of the cross section by wetted perimeter, sir. So if you take RH is equal to area of the L into B divided by 2 of L plus B is the RH into the 4 gives the equivalent diameter.
Okay. What is Froude number?
Froude number.
And what is the significance of this number?
Sir, I know the significance. When we are designing a project, it is related to the gravitational effects. Then we are using that Froude number.
Is there any forces involved in this number?
Yes, sir. The gravitational force, inertial force to the gravitational force.
Okay. What is the operating line equation for rectifying section?
Sir, y is equal to r by r plus 1, x plus xt by r plus 1.
Okay. How we maintain a vacuum and a vacuum distillation column unit, which are used in most of the refineries?
Sir, by using the steam ejector, sir. Steam ejector or the vacuum pump, we can create the vacuum.
Okay. Have you ever heard about the natural draft tower?
Yes, sir.
Why natural draft tower generally have a hyperbolic shape?
Sir, it initiate the draft condition, sir. Means for the natural circulation, that shape favors that natural circulation. Means at the long cross section area, the high cross section area, the velocity is low. So if we decrease the cross section, then the velocity will be increases. So it will be taken out, sir. So it like this, it favors the natural circulation.
Okay. Suppose I'm giving you a parallel reaction, A forming R and S.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. For A forming R, that single reaction have a order N1, and
Yes,
for
sir.
A forming S have a order N2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now my question is, if N1 is greater than N2,
Yes, sir.
then what type of reactor I will use so that the concentration of A should be maximum?
Sir, what is the desired product, sir?
Desired product is R.
Okay, sir. PFR we have to use, sir.
Why?
Sir, for getting the here for the selectivity, if we take the PFR, the selectivity will be more, sir. In the PFR, the selectivity will be more.
Selectivity
for the R. More for
why? But why selectivity is more in PFR rather
sir,
than
selectivity is the ratio of the rate of reaction of R by rate of the formation of S. So K into N1 divided by K into N2. So if N1 is greater than N2, for getting we Ca power n1 and Ca power n2. So n1 minus n2 is greater than 0. So for if we have the high selectivity for R, then obviously we should have the high concentration should be maintained. So high concentration of A can be maintained by using the PFR.
Okay, I think, sir, we can give him feedback. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Rahul sir, can you please start your feedback?
Yeah. Ji sir. Chandrasekhar,
Sir.
I asked you a question regarding the purity, effect of reflux ratio on purity of distillate.
Yes, sir.
I want to give you some information regarding this question. If you maintain higher the reflux ratio, then
Yes, sir.
more vapor liquid contact can occur in the distillation column. So higher reflux ratio usually mean higher purity of the distillate.
Yes, sir.
It also means that the collection rate for the distillate will be slower.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
And how we maintain the vacuum in a vacuum distillation column unit? Generally, most
Yeah.
refinery vacuum created in injectors, as
Yes,
you
sir.
said.
Yes, sir.
Ejectors have a nozzle arrangement that converts pressure energy into velocity energy.
Yes, sir.
And that steam that acts as a motive fluid is introduced into the chamber with a reducer type arrangement and followed immediate by reducer and expander arrangement. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you were very correct with the type of trays which are used in the distillation column.
Yes, sir.
You were stuck with the control valve question, right?
Yes, sir. But I haven't seen the CRE and the PDC part, sir. I only covered these 4 parts. The
No
thermo
problem.
fluid.
I will give you the answer. The control valve you use is air to open.
Okay, sir.
Okay, air to open. That means that control valve is always going to be in the closed position.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Vijendra sir, I'm done with my feedback.
Vishal sir?
Yes. Chandrasekhar, I asked you some of the questions related to heat exchanger because for a chemical engineering student, heat exchanger is a very important part.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think you know about regenerative and recuperative. Basic concept but you need to know what are the advantages of regenerative.
Yes, sir.
So what you can say for regenerative type heat exchanger, H value is more. Why H value is more, if I will ask you? Because you are using a high capacity cellulose matrix,
Okay,
as
sir.
compared to a simple recuperative type heat exchanger. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So H value is more, so heat transfer will be more.
Okay, sir. But in the basic operations of any industry, we are normally using that recuperative type only, no, sir?
Yes, we use recuperative type, but there are some specific application of regenerative type also.
Sir, any part of the refinery, in the particular refinery, is there any application of this regenerative type?
Yes. If you will search about Youngstown type heat exchanger, you will find that is that type of heat exchanger only.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you need to know about that basic difference and application and what you can say advantage of regenerative over recuperative type also.
Yes, sir.
Next, I asked you about the heavy metals Prandtl number. That is incorrectly you have defined. That is not 0.1. That is not. That is yes. That is less than 1. That is very, very less than even 0.01.
Okay, sir.
It is in the range of 0.03. It is in the range of what you can say 0.03 to 0.004. That low. Very much low. It is very much low.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thermal boundary layer thickness is very high as compared to the
hydrodynamic boundary layer.
Okay. So Reynolds-Colburn analogy is not applicable to this particular heavy metals. You said na ki sir we can apply to heavy metals also. We cannot apply.
Why, sir? For any Prandtl number we can apply this
no.
Colburn analogy.
Not for any Prandtl number. It is applicable in the range of what you can say 0.6 to 60. Reynolds analogy is applicable for the Prandtl number close to 1 only.
Yes, sir.
Reynolds analogy for the Prandtl number close to 1.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Means only for gases. Because for gases you are having Prandtl number close to 1.
Yes, sir.
For other cases you are having Reynolds-Colburn analogy, but that is also applicable in the range of 0.6 to 60.
Okay, sir.
because they can ask you for heavy oils also, because
Yes,
in
sir.
petroleum industry, if you're dealing with heavy oils, then also you cannot apply Reynolds-Colburn analogy. Why?
Here
Because
the
for
Prandtl number is less
is
than
very
the
very high, very high. For
very
heavy
high.
oils, it is in the range of 1 lakh.
Okay, sir.
It is more than 60, 70 only. For any oil, for even lighter oil, it is more than 50, 60. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And for heavy oils, it is in the range of 1 lakh. So more than 50,000, close to 1 lakh. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
for both heavy metal and for both, what you can say, liquid metal, you cannot apply this particular analogy.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
And there is no such thing like you are saying, sir, we can apply it to turbulent only, not for laminar. We can use this analogy.
We can apply,
both.
sir, but I have heard that the experimental results and by using the correlations, we can get the matching results when we are dealing with the turbulent flow.
No.
I have written in my notes.
Laminar flow, if you will apply the CFX value for laminar flow, you will get the same relation like which you will get for earlier analytical method.
Okay, sir.
Same type of relation you will get for this also. So generally, if you will ask me, you can apply this analogies to laminar flow over flat plate, turbulent flow over flat plate.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but this is not applicable for laminar flow in pipe.
Yes, sir.
For laminar flow in pipe, the Nusselt number is constant, actually.
Constant.
You know,
yes,
so
sir.
you cannot apply that analogy to that particular place, and it is applicable to turbulent flow in pipe also.
Yes, sir.
But in that case, CFX will be replaced by F. CFX
F
will be
by
replaced
2.
by F.
Yes.
So analogy is same. Stanton number into Prandtl ki power 2 by 3, that is equal to F by 2. And what is that? What is that F?
Friction fanning factor.
No, friction factor.
Friction factor. Fanning factor.
Mode is factor, na? Fanning coefficient is that friction coefficient. That is F by 4.
Darcy friction factor, so that one.
Darcy friction factor, that is fine. But if you say fanning friction coefficient, then you will write it as Stanton into Prandtl ki power 2 by 3 into F by 8.
Yes, sir. Okay,
I think you are having some confusion between Modi's factor and fanning coefficient. Friction factor
sir,
and friction coefficient.
I know the two factors, sir. One is the fanning friction factor and one is the Darcy friction factor, sir.
Again, I'm repeating, Chandrasekhar, if you will write the Stanton into Prandtl ki power 2 by 3, that is equal to F by 2. When I'm writing F by 2, that F is a friction factor.
Friction factor, sir.
Yes. If you're writing F by 8, then F is the friction coefficient. F by 8.
Yes, sir.
Because friction coefficient is 1 by 4, na? 1 by 4 of friction factor.
Yes, sir.
Or what do you say? Friction factor is 4 times of the friction coefficient.
Yes, sir. But F by 4, F by 8, when we are writing that F is called a Darcy friction coefficient, sir.
Factor you can say.
Darcy friction factor, no, sir.
Yes.
The name of the Darcy is correct only, no, sir?
No, actually, the name of that factor is Modi's friction factor.
Darcy, okay, sir.
We are using that in Darcy-Weisbach equation, but the name is Modi's friction factor.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And when you are writing small f, means f dash or f equal to 4 f dash. So that f dash is the fanning coefficient.
Okay, sir.
So 4 times of the fanning coefficient, that is your
friction factor.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So work on that. Remaining goal, I asked you some question related to mass transfer, Scammon number, Sherwood number that you have defined very well. And what is the relationship between these two? So I found your knowledge is good, your knowledge is fine, but work on heat exchanger part, work on this analogy. Okay. And if you are not sure, don't say. If you can say, sir, I think this will be the relationship, but I'm not sure about that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So this is one thing, and don't show that much of seriousness actually. यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा आपको seriousness दिख रही है, so just feel more comfortable. This will be better for you, I think.
Okay, sir.
Let Chandra.
Okay. And change some expression. Now you are giving smile. In the entire interview, now you are giving smile.
Okay, sir.
So it will be good. It will be good, and
that is his feedback in GD also. When is your interview on IOCL, Chandrasekhar?
17th, sir.
17th. So you have time sufficient. And Chandrasekhar, as far as HR part is concerned, just to revise more about your hobbies. Whatever you speak from your mouth, just revise that. hobbies, strong point, weak point, situation. I gave you a situation where a person says, no, I don't want to work under this fellow who knows nothing. Then you could have said that I'll try to convince him that remember your first day when you joined organization, somebody trained you, somebody taught you. That nobody comes trained, you learn it. And I have a learning potential because of which I have reached up to this level. I'm very sure if you cooperate and if you tell me certain things, I will learn it fast. And let's behave professionally. This is what you should have answered.
Yes, sir.
Complaint नहीं चलेगा, complaint कर दिया उसका, वो कर दिया, that is not going to work. So he sometimes gives you this situation in public sector just to know about your behavior, what you will display, because you as a young fellow are going to face these kind of problems once you join there. There are so many subordinates of yours who are far more experienced, and but knowledge, this qualification wise, they will be under you. So you will be their boss, but then they are very, very senior. You need to cooperate. You need to get their cooperation. So how you get the cooperation, that was a situation given. And rest, I think you need to say that, sir, other than technical skills, I have soft skills also. Soft skills means discipline, commitment, hard work, honesty, sincerity. These are the things valued in any employee, and I consider myself good in these personality traits. So sir, other than my technical knowledge, which other guys are also having because they are also having good ranks, so I have the soft skills which are more important in employee than the hardware skills which you talk about, the curriculum or technical knowledge which you have displayed in GATE exam, right? So that is what you can say, Chandrasekhar. The rest I think is everything is okay, and just keep preparing. राहुल सर, कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स का प्रिपरेशन चंद्रशेखर को करना चाहिए? What preparation should we advise him?
जी sir, I will advise to work on mass transfer, heat transfer, chemical reaction engineering, and also fluid mechanics. Pump part is very important, and fluid mechanics.
Have you done pump part?
Yes, sir.
You've done?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rahul sir. Thank you, Vishal sir.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.